I have to double check. I'm already on the link. Just double check. No one's watching, and it's live for 16 seconds. I mean, we might as well just cancel it.
How embarrassing.
Okay, we're on. All right, great. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Survivor Maryland Major Conflict Episode 7 live show. If there were more words, I'd put them in, but I can't. We've got a great panel of guests today. Joining me as always, well, first, I'm Anders Norberg. I'm the host of Survivor Maryland Major Conflict. You see me every week. I hope you enjoy hearing my voice. You'll hear it for the rest of the season. Joining me, as always, the lovely Erin.
Hello, it's me, Erin, from Survivor Michigan Season 3.
What a queen. Queen of hats. Look at all the hats behind her.
That's me.
Returning with us again is Queen Naz.
I'm a queen now. I feel so honored. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be back with Erin specifically, and I guess Anders also.
Thank you. I am the one who brought you on.
I guess so.
We've got super fan of Maryland, known for his great work on the wiki and also for getting a shirt signed by all the All-Stars, Mr. Jack.
Yeah, that's me. Certified #1 Survivor Maryland fan right here.
Every episode, streams it on Mondays. It's great.
Oh yeah, twitch.tv/Jack Connors. Watch the episodes with me.
And then, of course, we have our tragic boot from this episode. You hate to see it, Liam.
Yeah, you do hate to see it.
Liam, it's been 4 years since that moment. How excited were you to actually see it happen?
I guess, I don't know. The show's fun to watch again. It was gonna happen. I mean, I was, I know what happened, so I guess I wasn't really excited, but it's what it is. I don't know.
Liam, are you excited to be here with your future wife, Erin? Erin, come on down.
Yeah, and I appreciate all of the encouragement last week, but I'm not single, so I appreciate it, guys, but it's gonna have to be somebody else. Sorry.
Oh, fuck. Right. And divorce happened quick for you guys. Anyways, so Liam, we all have a couple of questions for you about not your relationship, which I hope is going great, but we have a couple of questions about this game. So number one, watching this back, what do you think was your biggest mistake of this game?
Yeah, so I've thought about that a lot, and not just recently, not just while it's been going on. I've been thinking about that since the moment I got voted off. But, before I started watching, I would say that I had two major mistakes. One of which was not finding the idol, which I think we can talk about that a lot. But, we had all the clues, as you like to say, and I think we knew exactly where it was, and that's kind of why we thought we were so sure that Josh had the idol, was because we knew exactly where it was supposed to be, and we couldn't find it. So obviously Josh didn't have it, and it was still sitting there, and so I think my whole game would have been different, probably had we not think that Josh had the idol. And the second thing was that I felt like I probably didn't acknowledge the advantage enough, or at least, put the fears of the advantage away when I talked to Doug, when I talked to Sadie, when I talked to Delaram, and, watching it back, I'm not sure that was really the case. I think, I'm not sure how much of a difference that would have made in the end, because, Doug didn't need me. So, as much as I could be honest with him and tell him how I felt, he didn't need me. And, it's fair.
I mean, I think everyone did exactly what you did. You went to Doug and you told him how you felt. And he went, thank you. I will use this information for my benefit. So let's go back to the swap. You and Jasmine get split up. You and the Business Alliance /Jam get split up. And you you give Jasmine advice on what to do based on your relationship with Amanda, the knowledge she's given you, and her relationships. Obviously, Jasmine goes home. When Jasmine goes home, how does that sort of change the game for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw it, and I hope we can talk a little bit about last week as well, because I think there were some things that probably didn't get filmed that were part of. I mean, they didn't get filmed, so they didn't get in there. But yeah, I don't know. I was really frustrated. I think she was kind of my number one person. I think that was pretty clear, and it was probably about 50% that, and 50%, I felt like Amanda had kind of lied to my face, and also Santi as well. But I understood what he did, and more than I understood what Amanda did at the time, and so I think I was equally mad about that. And how did it change my game? I don't know. I mean, ultimately, I still pursued the Josh vote out, which was the plan beforehand. But maybe did I? I mean, I should have been reassessing what the next move was after the swap, and not just plowing full steam ahead. And I think probably the Amanda vote. I mean, sorry, the Jasmine vote out contributed to that slightly, that I was a little bit more, focused on one thing than saving myself.
Okay, so in the episode, you say that you're at dinner with your family, and then you get this text. Was it like you get the text and you immediately got up from the table, went outside, and started filming?
Yeah, it was.
Look, I gotta go do this.
Yeah, no, we were like in the middle of. Yeah, actually, it's funny because my mom watches this. They actually both watch this, and my mom was like, I remember that night actually, and I felt like you shouldn't be playing this game anymore if you're like gonna get this upset about something going on. And I was, and she was like, now I understand, but also, yeah, no, that they definitely remembered that. But yeah, I went outside and I had a couple good screams, and actually a lot more went down that night that also wasn't in episode, but maybe we'll talk about it.
Oh, talk about it now. I only have the footage I have to explain it.
Yeah, sure. So, I go outside. I have a good rant, and first of all, I'm a little disappointed you didn't use my favorite line from the rant, but that's okay.
What's the favorite line?
The bridge burning line. But anyway, it's fine.
Do you remember the full line, or should I go find it?
Yeah, it was something like you came and burned a bridge with me, and I'm gonna come burn your whole town down, or something like that. But it was a little bit more eloquent.
Liam's been expecting an episode title for 4 years, and
I was. I'm gonna be honest, I really did. But no, but I understand, because it was kind of like in between the episodes. And after that. That ends, and I called Jasmine, she called me, I don't really remember, and that was a tough conversation as well. Was
it hard for her to tell you she was going to go on a date with Doug?
No, I was actually probably a little relieved, but I was happy for her. I was surprised, because I did not see that coming at all, but I was happy for her.
You were blindsided twice that night.
Yeah, but wait a second. Then there was one more call, to Sadie, actually, which there's no really conversation between me and Sadie in this episode, but I basically told her, hey, you were Jasmine's confidant on the other tribe. She trusted you 100%. Retrospectively, maybe she shouldn't have trusted Sadie 100% because Sadie didn't really stand up for her in that previous vote. But I'm with you 100%. I was like, this is my game plan. I really just want to get out Amanda and then Santi maybe, but like I'm with you 110%. I trust you 100%. I know maybe it's going to take time to build up trust with you, but you can trust me 100%. And that's how I felt. So that didn't get in there, and it was hard to watch, I guess, her not stand up for me in the Doug conversation. But I understand that as well. She didn't want to go against Doug.
So we saw on this new tribe, you and Mike last week are talking about like this actually wasn't that good of a draw for us because you have Doug and Sadie and Dalaram all who seem close and pretty much say as much. They don't hide it. They go, yeah, we're all close. Dalaram says, this is my alliance. And Sadie goes, yeah, I'm pretty close with Doug. And then on your side, it's you, Mike, and Abby, the Quidditch 3, which I don't know how close that was. But it wasn't not close. And then you have Josh. So obviously, like, there's a lot of complications because Dalaram and Abby are roommates, and you just have a tight 3 on the other side. Was there a point where you were considering we need to go for Dalaram, Doug, or Sadie?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure it was discussed because I was big on like discussing all the options along the way before like settling on one. So I'm sure it was discussed, but I don't think that we were ever even really thinking about that. We were pretty 100% sure that Josh had the idol, and so it still felt like a good move. And I knew that Josh was more aligned with Santi than he was with us. So yeah, I knew that Josh trusted me, but I also knew that it was okay. It was okay to get rid of him, and this was an opportunity where he probably wouldn't see it coming. I think
you're right. He did not see it coming at all.
Right, he did not see it coming. And then I get that then it would be like a 3-3 kind of after that. And I think I saw those divisions maybe a little bit more fluid than maybe that they were. And maybe it's because I felt a little bit less connected to my the Quidditch 3, which everyone else seemed to feel really was a thing. But it was really, I was talking to Mike. I knew Mike was talking to Abby, but I wasn't really talking directly to Abby. And I kind of was.
I mean, no one was. So, yeah.
I mean, I knew Abby probably better than I knew Mike going into the game because we were both freshmen on the Quidditch team at the same time, and but I wasn't really active with the team that much anymore, and so it just kind of happened that I ended up being closer to Mike. But I wanted to kind of keep Abby at a little bit of a distance so that people didn't see us too close. I think when if we had voted out Josh, and then if we had to go to tribal again, I mean, obviously we were close to a merge, and we all knew we were close to a merge. So I think we were like, maybe we won't have to go to tribal again, but if we do, then we have an opportunity to split up the roommates, Dalaram and Abby, because we were. I know. Yeah.
I'm sorry. When you said the roommates, I went, "Oh, like a Doug plan." No,
the other roommates, right?
This game,
the
roommates.
Exactly.
You also had the vote steal, which in a 3-3 situation, you would have the choice, which sounds like you would have used to get rid of Abby or Dalaram.
Yeah, I mean,
I do want to know this.
Yeah.
Santi, you were pissed at Santi and Amanda. Why weren't you pissed at Doug?
Well, because I didn't know that Doug had any part in that.
But even then, it's like Doug and Santi are roommates.
Yeah, but
did you feel it was just like completely separate players?
I didn't see them, and actually, yeah, I didn't see them as I knew that they talked to each other, but I didn't imagine that Doug's hands were on that, like they were. So, and I think the other part, I went to Doug because he was one of the 2 people that I had talked to on the other tribe, right? I had talked to Amanda, and then I had talked to Doug kind of to have this apology about the cleats. because for some reason people were still feeling annoyed about it. So, and I felt like, we had a starting place then, right? So I was suspicious of Doug. I knew that he talked to a lot of people, but I also, I don't know, kind of my perspective about the whole roommates thing was at some point, I knew that they were both big, strong players, and at some point in time, they were going to have to vote each other. So it felt like, now I didn't really trust Santi at all, and maybe I showed my hand a little bit too much to him that I didn't make him feel like I still trusted him, but I kind of felt like I had an opportunity to, like, when Doug wanted to take out Santi, I could be there for him. So, that, I think, looking back, I mean, it looks stupid that I went to Doug like everyone else did, but we didn't really know that he was running the entire other side like he was, and our tribe was a lot more fluid. And I think it had been said on previous episodes of this that it was our tribe was a lot more like a web, and their tribe was maybe, a lot more on one side or the other. But it felt like, I kind of imagined that things were maybe more fluid than they were, I guess.
I have another question regarding this. So you had an alliance with Josh. Like, I know it's clear Josh is closer to Santi. Like, there's no question there. But was there ever the consideration, this idol could be advantageous for us in a scenario where we might need to use it? Or was it going even before the swap, like back, when Evan went home? What a throwback. What's Gucci, yo? The question of, like, you guys really wanted to go for Josh. Josh was safe. Was the consideration still like, Josh will have the idol, he has to go, that idol is too big of a threat because it's just too much of an unknown?
Yes. Okay, so if we go back this far, right, the idol is there, it's a threat, but I think, and there were some moments in conversations with him where it just seemed suspicious. It just seemed like,
look, I mean, I get it. The girl, he had so many clues and couldn't find it. Trust me, I didn't even believe that he didn't have the idol at a certain point. Like, why are you lying to me?
100%. So
I had to check if the idol was still there. It was. He's a journalism major, but he's not good at finding things. So
right.
I don't know what to say.
There was already a little bit of a concern with Santi earlier on, and so this voting out Josh was like, Santi doesn't have a reason to go against us here, and we have an opportunity to flush an idol, and I was thinking we have an opportunity to see if he's going to be, faithful to us, see if he's going to vote with us still. So that's why I felt like the Josh move. I mean, I didn't say that in any of the clips because, I probably only said it to Jasmine, but I think, that was definitely less than 50. I mean, most of it was the idol. I think a little bit of it was, while we're trying to flush this idol, we can also see, is Santi gonna ruin it, or is he gonna stay with us?
I want to ask this question because I think it's a question a lot of us had while watching the episode. Why did you vote Delron?
Yeah, so I still felt like Josh might have the idol, and I was pretty sure that he wasn't going to play it. But if everything was going to plan, then, and if he did play it and he was still in the game, then I didn't vote for Josh in that situation. And I knew that he trusted, I knew that he trusted us 100%. And that's why I felt, I mean, you could see me there like fidgeting. Someone texted me and asked me if I was like, knew that I was getting voted out. And I was like, no, I had no idea. I was sitting there nervous because I felt so bad about voting Josh out. And so I wanted to kind of preserve, the ability to say like, hey, like, I didn't vote for you in that time. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you that it was happening, but like, I'm so happy you're still here. Little did I know that it was probably already too late.
I'm sorry. Can I just cut in really quickly? I'm just so angry at all of this. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense. If you were going to throw your vote in anticipation of him playing an idol and then still not tip him off and like think like, oh, I really want to maintain this relationship. Like there's this person, like you could have, he didn't have the idol, so it didn't matter. But you could have had the option of maintaining a relationship, somebody that trusted you, like keeping trust in somebody, keeping somebody in the game that trusted you, and flushing the idol. If you would have tipped him off to play it, yes. Yeah, it just makes no sense to me why you would both throw your vote to Delaram and not tip off Josh.
And I do also want to make this, because you said it in the episode, Santi's probably going to tip him off before we do. It's like, well, then do it now.
Yeah,
like, there's no downside to it. He either doesn't have the idol and he goes home and he goes, man, if only I had it. Or he does, you tell him first and he goes, haha, I'm more loyal to these two now.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was obvious to you.
To shit on you after getting blindsided.
Sorry, but like, and I don't know if it was obvious to you guys that Josh had no clear perception of what was actually going on. But like, clearly, you were like, yes, he did trust Santi more, but he still also trusted you. So you still could have, like, that, he didn't think of it as a dichotomy. Like, he was like, these are both my allies.
Yes. And yeah, I think these are moments where I feel like maybe I was a little too focused on just avenging and getting Amanda out. You know, there's a couple. Huh?
By targeting her closest ally, Josh.
Right. So okay. So we didn't have that much time between the two, the challenge and the tribal, and you could see us that night talking, me and Mike saying, hey, should we tip him off tonight? And I said no, because it's going to be too early. Like we didn't want him going to talk to people and like figuring out that it was us that told them in the first place to vote for him. So we wanted to wait until the next day, and then we kind of wanted to like be with him and make sure that he wasn't talking to the people that we didn't want to talk to. But it just so happened that I came across Seth Meyers tickets for that night. And so that's why I was dressed up, was I was going to see Seth Meyers before that. And there it is. And
Santi really cutting in after getting rid of Liam and saying, so my rose now?
Honestly, maybe, Santi. You've got a chance.
So I was kind of gone for those critical time, and then I got back, and then it was, it felt like, okay, so maybe he does, and then he tells, everyone else. At that point, I think he was already at the like tribal council area, and we were still on the bus trying to get there, and we were worried if we texted him, he would start talking to people right there, and
It would have made tribal more interesting, I'll tell you that.
It would have made tribal a lot more interesting. I mean, that's another regret, but I don't know if that would have, unless I had told him earlier, like before before Santi talked to him, then I don't think it would have mattered. And second of all, even if I did tell him before Santi, or Mike and I told him before Santi, I think he would have gone to Santi and said, hey, is this true? And Santi would have been like, they've been trying to get you out since forever. Like, it's not, yeah, it is true, but they're the reason. So,
well, girl, if you went to him and said, oh, you're getting votes, he'd be like, well, let's change that. There's 4 of us. So
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's
I
fair.
agree. You just going to him and saying, you have to play your idol a day before, he'd be like, why?
I'm running this tribe. I don't have to play anything.
But
it would have shaken things out. It would have.
I also want to point this out, because I'm sure you know this at that point and now. I hated you during tribal council, where all you would say was like, we're united. We're a group. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I guess why?
But I gave good confessions, right?
Yes.
I filmed myself too.
You did. I'm happy about that. I just wish you didn't do this awful
2 out of
thing of
3.
tribal
2 out of 3.
council.
I'll take it.
Why is my question? Like, was the hope that creating this perception of we are united, especially at the fucking swap one, like, is that hoping that the people that you do betray are like, oh no, Liam wants us to be united. He's just trying to do what's easiest.
Well, okay, but so at the same time, I was expecting that vote to be virtually unanimous, except for myself, right?
Right.
So I was expecting us to be united again, and yeah, there's always a push and pull between the host and the players in a situation like that. You know, I made the right call the previous 2 tribals not to say anything more, and
Rip Ivy.
Rip Ivy.
yeah. So I can't. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what to. We are united. Thanks.
We are united. Well, we on this commentator panel are united in that this is just a real shit show of a tribal. Does anyone here have any questions for Liam that hopefully aren't just direct attacks against what was clearly like not what we'd all do?
God, I don't know. I'm just angry because now I have to root for Mike, Liam. Like, do you see what you made me do?
Yes, I am so sorry, but
That was
Mike
my first thought.
Mike likes to put up a facade. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, well, I do have I just, do you think the reason you got voted out is because Ivy's voodoo came back to bite you?
No.
It is. The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Okay. Ivy vote in the show. It looks like it was on me, and it was. I mean, I was responsible for part of it, but I don't think that was 100% my fault or my decision. I think, you know, as I said,
it was all of your decisions, and we just like it.
They were united, Anders.
I know, and I unitedly hate that decision. Y'all really said, let's keep Evan Mungan in the game, but get rid of Ivy.
It's Liam, you did make up for it by joining Jam, so I'm.
My
opinions on you went
needed.
from down here to up here towards the end, so that's all. It's about the growth.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, I was really sad. I mean, I think that Jam group. If we didn't have the tribe swap, it was going to be golden, but
so we can blame Anders for this.
Yeah, if you didn't follow a typical Survivor format, like they would have been fine.
Yeah, it's fucked up I didn't keep these tribes the same the entire time. Then we could have seen them continually grow smaller and still somehow beat humanities when they do eventually merge. All they have to do is Doug shows up and humanities goes, information!
Yep.
We want to get rid of Josh. You think that's a good idea? And Doug goes, okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's real messed up of me to give you the ammunition to give you the majority in a swap tribe, and you still don't. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Liam, it's such a pleasure to have you. I mean, it's unfortunate to have you on this show for sure. I think everyone's unhappy this is the boot, but obviously things happen. You don't know what's going on, and you make the move that you think is the best. But we really appreciate you coming on. I'm sure Erin appreciated you coming on about 30 minutes ago before she knew there's no chance, but it is what it is. Is there anything else you'd like to clear up before we continue the show and bash you?
Yes. Yeah, there's one thing that I want to clear up. There's another call that didn't get in because it wasn't filmed, but before the last tribal, I would say probably like maybe between 4 and 2 hours before that tribal, I had a 30-minute to hour-long call with Amanda. So I think, I know that everyone was a little bit upset with the vote out last week, but if you felt like, I don't know, if you felt like I overreacted or something, I did feel like it was a little, she was on her side, and I don't know, maybe you have more information, but I think she was pretty on the fence. So it was just disappointing, but Anyway, do I get to do a pitch?
Yeah, if you want to pitch something.
Yeah. I'll just plug that people vote for Biden. So I'll be out with that. And thanks for having me.
Of course. It was a pleasure to have you, Liam. Hopefully we get to see you again in the future in these live shows. Bye. Yeah, I mean, I'll bring this up. Last week, yeah, Amanda was much more on the fence. Like, it was not just clear cut up. They want to work with me. I'm going back to Tim. Like, it was like, I'm only going to do this if we're doing it my way. Like, I don't want to go for Morgan. And she said as much. Like, I wanted to do Jasmine. She's a bigger threat to me. And they went with Jasmine. So Erin, I'm sorry about this revelation.
You know, it happens. It's fine. It just wasn't meant to be.
But we do have
Naz, so it's okay.
You'll always have me.
Morgan asked.
Wait.
You have an extra rose now, so it might have to go to Mike.
You're right. Honestly, yeah.
Just give it a Morgan. That's fine.
So let's talk about this episode. We're all sad. We're all sad about this. What happened? It happened. Okay. And you know what? I think we can also be angry because it was fully their own fault for doing it.
Yep.
I mean, Takasha fumbled the bag so bad, I think. It could have easily been a 4-3 to anybody that you wanted. Any of the three. I know no one was going to vote out Dog, but it could have been any of those three. And you just didn't. You let an original Takasha go home last week, and then you did it again to yourselves with the majority. Unbelievable to me.
I mean,
they were all just so terrified, I think, of like Abby and Dalaran being roommates, as if they had any power. Like, I don't see how that relationship is like. They're like, oh, like they're gonna be mad. Like,
I mean, do they even talk to each other?
Exactly.
I mean, we saw like one little clip of them together. We didn't see the actual conversation, but like,
that's because it's in the next episode.
Oh, spoilers! Oh my god!
Well, Delron talks and she gets a confessional next episode.
Abby at Tribal's like, people change about her roommate. So I mean, how close are they?
When Liam said, yeah, we used to get rid of the roommates, I went, Delron and Abby, I went, no!
I know.
Girl, just don't vote. Just at that point, waste an episode. Come on.
Morgan made that comment. It's the boys, man. The boys just don't get it. The girls see it, but the boys don't. Because I think they're so tunnel vision, though, and I feel like that's what ended up happening here. Is I know a couple weeks ago they wanted out Josh, and they've just been so set in their ways. Like, oh, we wanted Josh out at X point. That means we need to follow through with it. Well, things change, and Liam kind of made a comment. I wanted to evaluate all the options after swap, but I don't think that's what actually happened. I don't think they reevaluated options after swap, keyword after swap. Why would you go after someone in your OG tribe that you have a good relationship with, that trusts you? Makes no sense to me at all.
That has no awareness fully.
Like, exactly. Yeah, I think
stubborn men.
I had said something like before this started, but I think it's because Chikasha has like not really had to play the game up until this point, because they were just unanimous vote after unanimous vote, and the only people that really went to a tribal that wasn't united were Angie and Abby. Angie, who wasn't on this tribe, and Abby, who like has no agency. So I think that they all kind of came in with this idea that like, oh, it's going to be whatever we decide on. That's how tribals go. It's just all of us deciding on the one person that doesn't fit in. And so they were like, oh, well, we have 3 pairs here, so it's got to be Josh. And it just, so that...
that's not how you play a 3-pair situation. If there are 3 pairs and one person on the outs, everyone works to get the person on the outs, because what the fuck are you talking about?
Yep.
You're going to leave it to 3 pairs? Girl, that is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand. Let's get rid of Delron to completely, like, separate the Chikasha Piscala thing. But, like, it's an insane decision to go for Josh still. Especially because, like, out of anyone on Chikasha, Josh is probably the least threatening. Like,
and because he trusted Mike and Liam.
And him having the idol isn't the worst thing in the world. And you kind of pointed it out when Liam was on before. But they're treating it, we need to flush out the idol. Josh will have the idol. Okay, but that could help you. Like, Josh trusts you. Like, that could be good for you. So
also, it's Josh. When is he gonna? He's not gonna know to use the idol. Like, Santi will know when to use it because Santi has some information. If Santi has the idol, that's dangerous. Josh having the idol puts another layer of, I don't know if I believe this.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, yeah. And even Liam said, he was like, the idol is a threat, not Josh is a threat because he has the idol. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. The idol itself does not create a threat. It depends on whose hands it's in.
Yeah,
like Josh could have it and do nothing with it because he thinks he's on top of the world when he's not.
Yeah, if the idea of an idol is a threat, then is Liam having an advantage also a threat? He should have, like, if people are thinking Josh is a threat just because he has idol, are people looking at me as a threat or someone to vote out just because I know it? Everyone knows I have one. Like, it's 100% confirmed. It's not like speculated.
I think this is also like Eric, when he had the advantage, was fully aware of it and was constantly thinking, how do I best use this? Because he had to use it. Liam had power and the advantage, and he just disregarded what the advantage could do. Even now, talking about it, next week, if it was a 3-3, he was still in with Mike and Abby. He wasn't even thinking about the advantage. It's like, I understand it becomes more powerful the further you go, but like, use it. Because you use it or you lose it. In a game like this, where you can never be certain what the twist is, you've got to use your advantages and just go with it. Like Eric using it at the fucking third tribal he's at. Smart. Good at decision. Bad decision because he worked with Dane, but good decision otherwise. Liam agrees with you, Jack. But we will go more into this awful decision making once we talk about this tribal. But let's go to Piscala. Angie and Morgan are just having a little pity party, as am Silent J.
I'm so upset about it.
Very upset. I worked on the confessionals for like this episode like months ago, and like this is that confessional right at the beginning was what made me an Angie stan. I've been an Angie stan for like 84 years at this point, and like I'm glad that they're not like giving up. Well, Morgan especially for throwing those bolos. We'll get there, but like I love them. I'm rooting for them. I love likable underdogs, and that is what we are being provided with.
We am excited.
We am excited.
Yeah, I am rooting for them. I thought that was definitely like, it was so sad to watch. And then I know, like, I think there was talk about throwing the challenge on kind of like both sides, right? But I don't think that ever came to fruition. Like, I don't think either side was actually trying to throw the challenge.
No.
That could have been smart for like the Piscala people on this new Piscala to throw and like just easily get out Angie or Morgan, just to make things easier and kind of maintain whatever fake allyships they had on the other tribe. I'm obviously glad that they didn't. Well, kind of. I mean, Liam's gone, so less like not glad about that. But
look, that was their own. Like, it. Yeah, if Pascal had lost, I think it would have been a lot more straightforward. Not so much. Morgan and Angie fucked this up despite having. It's like if Morgan and Angie were safe, like they had automatic immunity, and they still managed to go home, like that would have been an equal thing. This was, yeah. But absolute queens. Yeah, it's sad to see them depressed. Like they're like, I guess I'll have to go drink with Mike to hopefully get his help.
Yeah, I think, but then Morgan coming in with like a fury, like she was like, I'm just, I'm gonna be no holds barred from now on. Like, I don't even give a shit. Like, I'm gonna throw punches. I'm gonna like, that was my favorite. That made me become a Morgan stan, like 100%.
I love that, but is it foreshadowing? Because last week we had Liam come in like, I'm gonna go on my revenge tour, and then the revenge tour came at him, and now Mike's on a revenge tour. I'm like, is it going to be Mike or is it going to be Morgan? Like, is this foreshadowing? I don't know.
There's going to be a difference between Liam's revenge tour and Morgan's cream cheese sponsored revenge tour. Just completely different. Morgan is just going to come, eat everyone up, spit them out. I hope.
Eric Yang hyping up Mike.
He really wants Mike to get that rose.
Tim sent me a text right after the episode going, Liam's Revenge Tour, episode 7 to episode 7. And I went, fuck. Yeah.
Tim with the jokes.
Tim is a comedian. I'll tell you that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, the rest of Piscala is in a pretty good place. I mean, what else is there to say? There's a majority. There's 2 people on the outs. In the challenge, oh no, not Eric Yang, not in the game anymore.
It's so true.
That's great.
When his Twitter gets more screen time than he does. let's talk about that challenge. So that challenge was like a full like almost 40 questions, and they did not get a lot of them. And if they did not throw well.
Oh my god.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Did they also? Did they kind of cycle through people then, and it just got edited down to the ones that people got correct? Because I was like,
that's why you saw Angie Liam like 3 times. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Like we collected information from their Facebook. They were hard and obscure. Morgan goes, I don't think they were. You want to know how I know that? Because I went to Facebook and I researched you guys. I just went to Facebook, looked up information about you, and just put it in.
If I was a player, I would have searched everyone's Facebook like day one. So, and I'm with you.
The question's like, where did Josh go to school before, and where is Delaram from? It's like, have you ever had a conversation with these people? Like, they're not. They told me this in their 30-minute interview to get in this game. Like, I know it just. But then you have people like Angie going, Canada. Delaram's from Canada, right?
I mean, it was a good guess.
Was it?
Was it?
There were. I will say there were 2 moments that I wanted to keep in, but the challenge was already so long. One was, how many siblings does Tim have? The correct answer was 3, but we actually put it as 2. And then a later question was, how did Delaram and Abby meet? We thought it was through the program that made them roommates. Turns out they went to middle school together. We gave someone a point we gave someone a throw for saying the program they were in, and Tim goes, that's not fair. At one point, I also had 2 siblings. So it didn't matter. They never got points for those questions. There's also another cut question that's so funny to me, only because I love being mean to my players. Josh was really excited for the UMD questions. He goes up next, and I say, oh, no, it's switching between UMD and personal. It's not just UMD. And I go, what frat is Morgan in? Josh is struggling, and I go, Josh, you seem to know a lot about UMD. I'll give you a hint. It's a frat at UMD. Mike laughed at that joke, and I thought it was funny. Didn't matter. No points. But let's talk about that challenge. Morgan fucking kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan said, y'all want to vote me out?
Well, you didn't learn the history of frats, did you? Yeah, I mean, Jesus. She said which ball works better and then used it.
Queen of balls on strings, right?
Queen of balls on strings.
Yeah.
I mean, that was art. She's garbage at physical, but give her a bolo toss and she'll fucking slay.
She said it herself, if accounting doesn't work out, she has a backup career just waiting for her. Tailgate dad.
Oh my god. That should have been her Chiron. Tailgate dad. It's been the funniest joke to me since this moment. It's where I ask about the handle and Angie goes, it's T Chew Dick. So Tim's last name is Chew Pick. So she went, it's funny, it's gotta be Chew Dick. And 4 years later, Tim still hasn't changed his dumb Twitter to Tim Chew Dick. It's just Timmy the Coop.
I would have done that day one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's free marketing, Tim. Like, what are you doing?
Come on.
Not more than you. I have asthma. And you're bad at challenges. What of it? So, Delaram and Liam fuck up the tower building.
Legends.
Jack, what was it you said during... Delaram said something during the building. She's like, it's like...
I don't know. She just started saying something and she just went, It's like, what? I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, not this. I don't want to put this up, but it's a comment Julian just said. And no, Tim isn't. It's this. My Dar is thinking, no, he's not. Anyways, Delaram, queen of building a tower that goes like this. So they lose. Chikashi's going to tribal.
Yeah.
Are we, in our opinion, how do we feel about, just initially, Chikashi going to tribal?
I was, 1, happy Angie and Morgan were saved. 2, happy that Doug could have been voted out. That's it. All my thoughts.
Jack, you had a comment during your stream about people giving information about to Doug. You said, who wakes up in the morning You want to say it?
Because it cuts to it starts with a conversation like of Mike and Doug, and I paused the thing and I said, who wakes up in the morning playing Survivor Maryland and says, you know what? I gotta talk to someone in the game. Let's call Doug. Like, who does it?
Obviously, every single person.
Yes.
Obviously, every single one of these people on the show.
Well, these dots just need to be connected because he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. And I just don't.
Hang on.
Um,
No, they are. They are all connected. That's why like he's invincible, and that's why he gets to dictate every single thing that happens always.
And then has a confessional where he says, I'm not writing everything. I'm nervous.
Jack had, I think this was from the 3rd episode, where Jack, it's just like a scene of Doug talking. Jack goes, I go, get this freak off my screen.
No, I think it was that scene. It started with Doug zoomed in. I was like, oh, not this. And then it cuts to Amanda on the other side. And I was like, oh, God.
There was a scene from last week that
No.
Jack had clipped out. And it's like, it's Jasmine talking, and no, Morgan talking, Jasmine talking. And then it cuts to Amanda. And Jack pauses and goes, no!
And I collapsed to the floor.
You can't convince it. It's over. It's over.
When I see Doug's confessionals, I'm like, how is this the guy who's running the entire game? Like, he's like lovable idiot type of thing. I mean, he's not an idiot, but he has that vibe of just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm so scared. I'm so this. Like, how is this the mastermind? If anything, it should be Santi, who would be like second in command. But how is Santi second in command to Doug? How is this happening? I just don't understand.
I do love this question. Would you swipe right on Tim though? Erin?
Listen, I don't want to answer that question.
All right, that's fair. He might have you in a relationship.
If he had a funny bio, maybe.
Not this comment right now. Well, first of all, himbos are already dumb by virtue of being himbos. Look, not to give you an etymology lesson, but himbos are dumb, strong, and respect women. So they're already dumb. Is anyone on this season a himbo? I don't know. I think that's hard to say. Naz, do you think Mike respects women? He has a Saturday for the boys flag, so I think that's
I play the 5th on this question.
All right. Well, we don't know if there are any himbos this season. I guess Eric is probably the most himbo on the. It's a good thing to be. Anyways, so going on. Sorry, I got distracted by Jack's comments about things and other comments. Let's talk about this Chikasa tribe a little bit. Jack, you were very excited to see Abby get not only one scene, but 2 scenes before and after tribal with confessionals. She's here.
She's okay. So I literally, before the scene cut, I was like, oh my God, Abby's middle of the road 3 confessional incoming. Here it comes. And then it cuts to a scene of Doug and Abby. I'm like, oh my God. And then she talks and it's a middle of the road confessional. Like she doesn't give us anything. She's just like, yeah, I want to vote out Josh because that's been the plan. Cut. Immediately. Gone. Andrews was like, all right, Abby appearance. Check.
I literally wrote in my notes, Abby has a confessional! ! Moved on to the next note.
Yep.
I want her to she's a queen in the making. She has the potential. I just need her to.
She's an aspiring bad bitch.
Yes.
True. That's true. Honestly, yeah, she could give us so much if she just wanted to.
Like her and Delaram teaming up, being badasses. Like I want to see it happen.
I can tell they're such fun personalities, but they're really not doing anything with it.
It's funny. They both. Abby texted me after the first episode. She goes, "Wish I could go back and play the game." And I went, "Yeah, me too." Oh yeah, but Abby's here and she says, "I want to go for Josh." We've been going for Josh. It's like Abby, queen of just saying, "It's what we're doing. We're gonna do it."
Yeah, I from what I remember with the confessional, she wasn't given us everything. So Andrews did what he could, I believe.
She really is just going for Josh because Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all blinded by Josh. He doesn't have the idol. I guess how would.
But he has 5 clues.
That should be more of a reason to keep him around because he can't do anything with any of the clues.
It's
Or at least ask for the clues. Get them yourself. Like,
Yeah, honestly.
just be like, hey, I don't know if you have the idol or not, but like, can I have the clues so maybe like I can look?
I think a huge issue of a lot of these players is that they see their relationships as like, oh, I don't really trust this person, so that probably means that they don't really trust me, even if that person really does trust them. Like nobody, like they're like, these are my allies, so these are the people that I'm going to talk to. I'm not going to really try to get information from anybody else. And I feel like that's where a lot of these players are stuck. So I think that like, okay, well maybe.
Liam burying himself more by saying, not only did we have just as many clues as Josh, we also didn't have the idol.
It's yeah. Like at a
Right.
certain point, you even if you think that's like you feel like you know that somebody has the idol, you still go check. Like where you think the idol is, you still go look.
Well,
I
to
want
your
to know where this is. I just do.
I'm not no spoilers for anything else, but they have literally been to the spot. Like the scene where you see Josh and Mike searching is the spot where it is. They're just bad at it.
oh gosh.
Just gotta look for rocks. I don't know. A
Liam really
special
says
rock.
we did. Girl, they did, and they didn't look well.
Okay, this is not helping your case though. It's just I don't even it's just so frustrating. Like I get it, but it's like I don't know. It's
Well,
also you're not
aside from the idol though, like you made a point about how they're kind of stuck to the people that they get information from and they're not going to people. that's where I feel like Santi really excelled because he went in, he had Jasmine and Angie and Morgan basically. He had his old tribe members, but he actually formed real relationships with the other side, ended up flipping it to his favor.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm not saying everyone should have abandoned their previous alliances, but they shouldn't have been so married to them that they won't form a real relationship with anyone else. And relationships with Doug don't count. Like every single person has an alliance with Doug. That doesn't count. Doesn't count that Mike had a conversation with Doug or Liam did whatever. That doesn't.
Yeah.
But you can't be stuck in your ways after the swap. Like there's new things coming on.
especially when somebody else is like reaching out to you. And like we've seen it time and time again of these players just like being reached out to and shutting it down and being like, oh, I know that you reached out to me, but I don't really trust you. Right? Like Amanda with Liam or like Sadie with Jasmine. Like she didn't really trust her on that same level. So we've seen it time and time again where people really do. They find their allies. They're fine with their allies. And then they're like, this is what's going to get me through. And you can't always count on that. Like you need as many relationships as you can. And that's why they're just going to like let Doug and Santi get to the end.
I mean, you to make a couple points about this, like Sadie has a relationship with Eric, and she's still like, but I'm working with Doug and Tim, so I've got to keep that. It's like you don't need to do anything.
No.
You have both.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
Exactly.
And then you have Doug. To your point, Naz, you're absolutely right. The only point I would disagree on is if you're in a majority, it is not the onus of you to be doing the work of making relationships because that puts you in a bad position. There's no reason Mike, Liam, Josh, or, well, we don't have to worry about Abby, but any of them should have been making the first move. It's like Doug says it in the swap episode. I'm in the minority. Shouldn't I be reaching out to them? And I think you would have seen in this episode, you see Doug, Sadie, and Delaram say we're pretty close. And that's because none of them had to do anything otherwise. If Doug's in a position where he needs to turn on an ally, he's shown before, he'll do it. I'll do it again. Bah, bah. So, like, and that's the thing. Mike and Liam were just so quick to completely drop Josh. They reached out. It's like you are giving up your advantage here for nothing.
Yep.
Because now Doug literally had the power to go with them, make some sort of a new alliance, or betray them. I'm not being a bitch. I'm just pointing out why they're dumb.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing. I don't think that Jam made the wrong move last time. They wanted to include Santi. They just wanted to include everyone, which became the issue. I know I'm right, Liam. I've had 4 years to evaluate your game. But yeah, I mean, like, mess. So Doug seizes opportunity in this tribe. How do we feel about the way that Doug went about this, the way that Santi went about this? Do we think this is the right way to do it? Do we think it's a bad move in the long run?
I don't think it's going to be a bad move in the long run because I don't think Josh is going to like be like, oh, maybe he's not going to like do any second thinking. Like he's just going to roll with it. So there's going to be no backlash from it. Like they're going to get away with it scot-free as they've gotten away with like everything.
I
Like-
hate how perfect this move is for both of them. I just hate how perfect it is. And I like them both. I'm not rooting against them. I just want some like fire from the underdogs. And this was the ideal move for both of them on their respective tribes. They're able to, well, I guess Pascal was able to whittle it down. So now it's tied between them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out so well for Santi, who's now kind of in on the Pascala side and not so much on the Chakasha side, at least on his new tribe. Great for Doug because he's safe and he was in the minority and now he's not in the minority anymore. I mean, it worked out so well for them. Like, oh, God.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm like, yeah, I'm angry because, yeah, it was the best move for them. Without question. That's exactly what they had to do. Like, Santi was like, I have an adversary and I have to get rid of him. And so it happened. And they weren't going to put themselves in a worse position because they're both at the tops of their tribes anyway. So Santi risks nothing by going over and talking with this other tribe, especially considering Doug just did that last week on his tribe. Like, they are showing their cards, but it doesn't matter because everyone's so loyal to them anyway. Like, now they're coming into this, it's final 12, and they're probably all assuming it's a merge. And so then they have Doug, Santi, Tim, Amanda, Delaram, Sadie, Josh now is like a general as well. So that's like a majority, period.
And Dane.
Sure. And I guess Dane, yeah, sure.
They've really benefited from building their empires on two separate tribes for both the pre-swap and the swap period. They got really lucky being on separate tribes for the swap as well as the beginning because it's really benefited because they've known how to utilize the one world like aspect of College Survivor to like the best of their ability, and they're doing it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too. Sorry, you can talk, Naz.
No, I was just gonna say they're also like both.
I
so
said
good.
Naz.
I thought you said now. Sorry, Naz.
No, you can go first, Erin. I'll go next.
No, I was just saying that they're also both just so charismatic that it just comes easy. Like people just want to talk with them both as well. Like, I think that's probably why people do go to Doug because he is like a goofy guy. So like you want to go talk with him. Like you're like, oh, Doug's fun. Like I'm gonna go talk with Doug because he's fun.
When I wake up in the morning, I call Doug. I say, hey, Doug, I have some information.
Or
Right.
for Mike, you call Doug, you grab a natty light, keep it
Yes.
halfway in the frame for the entire conversation. I saw that. I Snapchatted him. I said, this is the most on-brand thing, no pun intended, I've ever seen. Is in your little conversation, you have just a little bit of a freaking natty light can throughout the entire conversation. But what I was gonna say was, has anyone even expressed trying to get Doug out, minus Eric, who unfortunately got the short end of that stick? Like, at least I think people have like talked about Santi here and there. Maybe it was mostly Liam and Jasmine who are now out, but I feel like Doug is in such a great position because he doesn't give off that slick talker, smooth talker thing that Santi maybe could get in trouble for later on. He just seems like that lovable idiot. I know I keep using that, but everybody likes him. No one finds him threatening, even though he is objectively just the biggest threat to all of their social games.
Yeah, that's essentially what's happening because nobody sees like him as running the show, and I guess Santi too. And Eric was the only one who saw it, and Eric was really our only hope until like people start waking up to things. Because like Eric figured everything out, and then Doug was like, whoa, 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 whoa. No.
Everything he says is true.
You can't figure everything out. You gotta go.
Eric said, here's what's happening. Everyone turns to Doug, and Doug goes, no, heart emoji. And they go, well, then it's not true. He wouldn't lie to us.
No heart emoji. That is so perfect.
It's literally, literally when they voted out Eric, it's like in Among Us, and then it was like Eric is not the imposter. Like that's literally.
And they're like,
yeah.
And Dane goes, no, it was
Yeah.
and then someone calls a meeting. Do we vote out Doug? And everyone's like, no, we skip.
Are you fucking crazy? Yeah, it's some mess. Just no. Well, it's also interesting because like Santi's power was like Jasmine, Liam, Mike, and Angie. Who from there does he have? Like, and he said something in this episode like, it can't get back to Mike that I was the one to do this plan. And Doug's like, okay, I'll take the credit. Because I think like the hope is, we can still use Mike, despite it's like, goodbye, goodbye, all of your allies, Mike. You're in the same position Angie was now.
No, but Mike brought everyone from Chakasha to his new tribe. Do you remember that comment? I'm happy with everyone I brought here.
Yeah, it was. He has control of all the women. He brought these people onto his tribe. Like Mike has a lot of power that he doesn't know about.
Yeah,
Clearly.
it's true. Yeah.
This is true. He was just misinformed.
Oh yes.
He was framed.
Yeah.
Innocent.
Well, let's also talk. Let's talk about Mike. Let's talk a little bit about him. So he and Liam make the same cardinal mistake of being absolute shit for brains, and targeting Josh again, who they get told believes he's in the majority, like so deep in that hole, baby. He said, "I'm going to stay in this complete ignorance," and Mike says, "We got to get him out."
Oh my god. Like, cannot emphasize enough how painful of a move that was to watch. It's men being stubborn is literally what it is. You wanted him out a couple weeks ago. I think Mike is maybe still a little bit butthurt that he lost that smoothie contest, which made Josh safe, and now he wants to do the manly thing and like get his vengeance or whatever. Well, how did that work out?
I think, right. I think Mike's best move would have been to get rid of Delaram, considering like she's probably the only other person that Abby might be talking to, especially.
And Doug, she's talking to Doug.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. That's the default. You don't need to say it. Everyone knows.
Yeah, but like it would have made the most sense for him, and I think it would have been the best thing for him to do, considering like I know that Mike does also. He's like, I like Doug, I like Sadie, like he likes talking to those people. I remember back in the food chain challenge, and there was like just like Mike and Doug were just like talking during that challenge and like building a relationship, and I was like, why are you just like telling Doug things in this challenge? Like, what are you doing? It didn't make any sense. But like, obviously, he felt that connection with him, and he felt that connection with Sadie. So I think Dalaran would have been his best move. It didn't make any sense. Obviously, going for Josh, same reasons as Liam. Like, okay, so what? So what? Josh felt closer with Santi. Santi's not on this tribe. It does like the people on this tribe that Josh should trust are going to be you guys. So it didn't. I don't know.
They
have this mentality. Oh, go Anders.
You know who else Josh talked to? Or sorry, you know who else Doug talked to during Food Chain? Josh. It comes full circle, baby. Didn't need him then, didn't need him now. Go ahead, Jack.
I was just going to say, like, the Chakasha members have this mentality of not later, now. And it's really hurting them because all they had to do was just, like, vote out Delaram and then next round just, like, 3 votes on Josh. If they really wanted Josh out, like, you could, like, you don't need to vote out. I don't know why they just want to do everything now. Now. Just, like, lay out the foundation of what you have to do and, like, make it happen. Don't just say, we're doing it.
I forget who, I think it was one of Erin or Naz, but you talked about, like, they said they wanted to get out Josh, and then that was just what they stuck to. It's like, literally, Delaram was the vote a few weeks ago for Pascala, and now she's in a tight 3 with Doug and Sadie. They really said, we tried to get you out, but you like us still, so you're actually in a trio with us. It's very much like, guys, the game isn't just one line, it's a river. Figure out how to fucking swim or you're going to sink.
Pascala has been a lot more adaptable because they kind of have to be, and I think Erin might have said this before with the tribals. In the beginning, for Chakasha, like, it's also united. Like, they never had to go into a tribal and have any type of like craziness going on. Whereas for Pascala, like every single week, it was one of those crazy things, ununited votes or whatever you want to call them. But I think they learned to adapt and like roll with the punches and figure out like, oh, this isn't working. I need to get this person on my side. Whereas when you're so used to things going your way, you're like, why fix it if it ain't broke? But it was broke. Like, you should have fixed it. You just weren't looking at it that way.
Liam made this comment, and I'm going to say this. Maybe you weren't.
Oh my
god. Yeah, I mean, I think that Mike and Liam played it bad, but obviously Mike has to live with it now.
Yep.
And this is the downside of doing the stupid move is now. I mean, the question is Mike fucked?
It depends on whether Santi thinks he can still work with Mike. And then Santi can say to Doug, like, listen, I think we can still have Mike on our side. He's going to be a better ally at the merge than Josh is. So maybe he's not in that aspect, just depending on where that Mike and Santi relationship stands.
If everyone else has the same mindset that Mike and Liam had this week, then yes, Mike is fucked. If they are so dead set on going for the next one in the chopping block, then yes, Mike is fucked. But I think that that Doug and Santi are smarter than that, and will actually evaluate whether, again, Mike can be used or if somebody else is a better option to cut. But
because I think what we did see is like there was connection made with Mike, but it's a question of like, is Mike that useful ally? We don't really have to talk about Delaram, but I wanna hear your thoughts on this. When during the tribal where she goes, it'd be smart to flip like because it'll save you. Like to me, in that moment, it was like Delaram is giving away the plan. I don't know if that's what you guys took from it.
That's exactly what I took from it. Yeah.
I did not process that.
Did you just think she was just saying something stupid and then going, wait, what? Oh yeah, they are in the majority.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think, yeah, go ahead, Jack.
I just thought it was a Delaramism. I just thought it was that was her.
Yeah, I think she was like giving away the fake plan though. Like she was giving away the Josh plan by saying that and saying like, oh, you would save yourself if you flipped. Because nobody was trying to work with Liam. Like he didn't have an opportunity to flip. And like flipping wouldn't really mean anything for him. So I think that was more so giving away that fake Josh plan. If that makes sense.
Oh, in my mind, it was like Delaram knows that they're going to vote for Liam. And the reason why someone in the majority 4 of Josh, Liam, Mike, and Abby would flip to them is because Josh, well, he's going to go home if he doesn't flip to us. So that's why he should do it. And I thought that's what happened. Like, oh shit, Delaram, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Liam can still play his advantage. Like,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's, but I don't know because when I was watching Jack's stream, like I could see it also Delaram being like, oh, because it'll save them, and then I go, but they're in the majority, and she goes, oh yeah, I guess then it doesn't make sense. It could be either. I don't know what her thought process is. No one really does. She's a queen.
I wish
from
there
Canada.
was some sense into the old Chakasha people, though. I mean, I will emphasize this. It was like the first thing I said on the stream, but I just think old Chakasha fumbled the bag so hard, having this majority. Like, I cannot even believe that this was the outcome.
Maybe if they kept Ivy, just
it's a voodoo.
It's Ivy voodoo. It got them.
I mean, also some great tribal answers from I think it was Liam. It's like, should you guys stick together? Like our old tribe line's gonna stick together. Maybe. I mean, quality. If I'm in a majority group and someone goes, maybe, I go, confidence? You got it.
Those tribal answers were painful. Bag fumbled, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
You have a reason. She's incredible.
She's great.
She's
an icon.
Those like 10 seconds of screen time that she's gotten, great.
She is from Canada and she's here to claim it.
Yes.
Sadie and so Sadie is sort of been a little quieter. Where do we feel that Sadie's chances? Erin, she's your winner pick.
She is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think once the like Doug coalition starts cannibalizing itself, like Sadie's in a great spot. I think that there's going to be like power hungry people going after each other, and I think Sadie's going to sneak her way into the finals and be like, "Hey, all of these moves, they were mine."
Let's see. We've talked about. We don't have to talk about Liam. We've already talked about the garbage of that move and the decision of doing it. Not that he's garbage, just all of that. Josh, let's talk a little bit about Josh because I think this was he was really like, this is not me editing anything crazy. Like this dude was so certain that it was going to be Delaram. He's like, it's got to be Delaram.
Yeah, I remember him being very, very confident, and I was like, I listened to other people's. I don't think he's right. I'm just like, I think I like type things to you, like being like, this is, I don't know what he's talking about, but go off, King, or like whatever. Because I was like, what are you talking about?
Josh is the himbo.
Oh no, he's in a men's alliance.
Yeah, he's in a men's
alliance. That's true.
And he was going to vote for either Abby or Delaram. So
his confidence is so unfounded. Like maybe it's just because that you didn't like.
Not number 3 goat. I don't think Sadie's a goat, but we'll get.
Sadie's not a goat. Okay. Anyway.
Josh, getting that content king. It's negative, but he's getting it.
So yeah, his confidence is so unfounded. Like I don't know, for those like confessionals of his like men's alliance. Like, do they talk strategy or do they just play video games? Like, he's like, yeah,
Have you never been in an alliance with a man? That is strategy.
we're all just really close. Like, we play video games. Like, where is that coming from? I'm not seeing these relationships. Like, sure, he's had a couple of strategy talks with Santi, but like, I just don't understand why he thought he was so on top. And even then, he was like, yeah, I'm in like this guy's alliance. I'm pretty sure I'm in control of this whole thing. It's like, are you, Josh? Like, are you?
It's almost it's not the same, but it's almost that same type of naivety that like Mike has with his confidence.
Yeah.
But just like I don't want to compare them because they're so different in personality, but like Josh is just like this, oh my gosh, I'm at the top of everything. Whoa, this is amazing. Mike's like, yeah, I'm at the top. I run everything. Like, it's fine. But it's like I don't know, it manifests so differently, but at the end of it, they both just had the same idea, that same like blind confidence in that they're running the show.
Yeah, it's like Mike expects to be there and Josh just kind of like feels like he fell into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also crazy because like Mike at some point like is a little bit more correct in it. Like he definitely has more power over the situation.
Yeah.
Josh is just truly like, I am in the in-group. I'm powerful. I have relationships. It's like, Josh, you're 7 episodes too late to be in this position right now. Like you have allies. That's it. That's all you can say.
Well, now that he has Doug and Santi on his team, he's gonna really feel like he's running the show. So I don't know what this episode did for his ego, but
it's also crazy because, like, again, I want to reiterate, Josh has so many clues. No one believes him when he says he doesn't have the idol because it is unfounded that he would not have the idol. Like, and that's the thing. It's not as if someone with a lot of clues couldn't have the idol, but there's no one else who theoretically has this idol that's reasonable. Like, maybe Liam, but like, no. That's the thing. If it's not Liam, it's Josh. So like, where is it, buddy? I feel like it's also hard. You saw in this episode, like, even Sadie was like trying to probe Josh. Josh is like, it's boys till the end.
Yep.
And Doug wasn't even certain that if he went to, Doug might not have been able to do without Santi. What does it say about Josh? I think that really just goes into how deeply in the hole Josh is. Where do we feel about Josh? Where does he go from here? Besides back into another hole.
I think Santi's and maybe Doug, but I think Santi's gonna keep using Josh for as long as he can, and I think that will end up kind of being a good thing for Josh. I feel like he's gonna get carried along a little bit because he'll do whatever Santi says. And not to jump this topic too far, but Doug was smart in saying if Santi tells Josh this, like he'll do it. Like I think Santi's got him.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna see Josh just kind of coast until his inevitable, oh, what? I thought I was running the game, blindside, and or goat at the end. I don't see any growth in gameplay. Like he's not gonna do anything.
Austin
Sorry.
pointed this out, but I think this is a great comment during the talk with Josh from Santi and Doug, and the great audio quality. Santi makes this comment to Josh: Mike's good at making you feel comfortable. When talking about like, oh, Josh was so sure of it. It's an incredible manipulation tactic that Santi is doing. It's like, yeah, Mike is really good at making you feel comfortable. That's why you got to get rid of him. You're feeling good. You're feeling on top. That's because Mike and Liam, manipulators. It's like, girl, you in a hall of mirrors. Everyone's a manipulator. You're just being manipulated.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think
Santi.
it's pretty incredible because, like, I think the only people Josh would have believed the comments from would have been Mike, Liam, and Santi. And I don't know what would have happened if Mike and Liam had told him beforehand and then Santi came to him saying they were trying to get you. Because, like, if both sides were telling him different things, I don't know who he would default to. Maybe Santi, but, like, he might not go for Liam at that point. It's only because they just kept him in the dark and we're still voting for him.
Sometimes it is just all about timing. It's who says it to you first or who gets to you right before tribal. Like, sometimes that is really what it comes down to, especially when you don't have a solid footing in the game. Like, sometimes if you are worried it's going to be you, you're just going to go with the last thing that you heard. But like, if it was that situation where it's like these two people came to me and they said, "Hey, you might hear this." hey, this is something that you might hear, just so you know, like, we know about this. This is false information. And then that next person comes to you and says that thing that these other people told you they were going to say. You're going to believe the people that told you first because they told you that you were going to be told that. So that was a non-coherent sentence that I just said, but like, I feel like it is all about timing at that point, especially given Josh might trust Santi a little bit more, but he felt really solid with Mike and Liam. So I don't think he had reason to distrust them.
There's also a psychological principle of like the first person to tell you something, you'll believe the most.
Yeah.
So like if they were to get to, I mean, it's not always true. It's a principle, but it's like if Mike and Liam went to him first and were like, yeah, Dog really, or just saying like, yeah, Dog and Sadie really want to get you out. They thought they could flip us, but we're not going to do it. And then Santi comes with Dog. It's like, maybe I can't trust Santi as much because he's with these persons. Like, but yeah, I think that honestly, Josh did the best move for himself here. Like as annoying as it is for us, like it was either that or go home.
Yeah.
All right.
Or play his idol.
Or play his idol.
Yeah.
What if he's had this idol and I'm just shitting on him the whole time?
Flashback to the tape under the table.
He found it
He
first
found
day.
it day one.
So let's talk about the future. Obviously Mike's going to be angry. Well, hopefully his revenge tour is more than an episode. Classic men, they don't get their way, and it's a revenge tour. I'm going to burn down your house. Like, all right, chill out.
Whole town. That's what Liam
And
said.
Abby right next to him, like.
So that's going to be a mess. Do we think that? So we said that like we don't know if Mike would be the next one to go because it's not a Chikasha in charge of that tribe. So easiest option maybe out. Oh, here we go. The tape was the idol, and they threw it away.
I wish Jasmine played it.
Pascala, do we feel like it is going to be clearly like if they lose by Morgan?
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe a 2-2-2 split. Oh, groundbreaking. But
Can't wait for the next 12 Bolo challenges.
oh, please.
Me, when I see Morgan's good at a challenge, we're actually changing all these challenges.
I remember when I said bring her swimsuits, I lied. Bolos.
It's a Bolo in the water.
I think old Pascal is gonna go back on themselves. Like they're gonna vote out one of the remaining Chikasha members.
Spoilers. Next episode, does Pascala vote out a Chikasha? Who knows? I saw. Wait, this is a really funny Twitter comment that I do want to share. Someone making predictions about the episode.
Yes.
That is really good.
Let me find it. God, we really just posted a bajillion things in the time between me posting that and then it was number 1, everyone will tell Doug everything. That happened.
Yeah.
Number 2, Amanda will target women. Didn't happen this episode.
Didn't happen. Growth.
Number 3, Josh will not find the idol even if Anders places it in his hands. That's correct. Number 4, Abby and Delrom will be there. Boom. Number 5, Tim will make a joke. You got it. That's 4 out of 5 correct. Amanda didn't go to trial. She couldn't have done that. We'll see if it happens next episode. Let's talk about winner picks. Erin, staying with Sadie, you've got it at this point. Naz, who are you? Were you with Liam or who are you with? Or is it Jasmine?
Winner pick was Morgan. Now she seems like in big trouble, which is really unfortunate because I still, in my heart of hearts, I still pick her. But I was saying this earlier. Normally, I never pick the big dogs. Like I don't pick a Santi or a Doug as a winner pick because you're like, that's way too obvious. At some point, people are going to be like, come on. But I don't think people are going to catch on to Doug. And I think I might have to change my winner pick to Doug. I just think there's no way. There's no way. If they keep playing the way they're playing now, no one is going to catch on to Doug.
Can't believe Doug's going to make it to final 3 and he's going to go, I actually was controlling this game. And they go, what?
Like, it's
No.
And I told you all of my information.
And you used it against me?
That
How dare you?
Me while I'm literally getting blindsided by Doug. I still trust him. I don't think he did this.
couldn't be Doug.
he gets so mad, but he's so likable that I can't even really be mad. It's like I want to cheer for him, but also I'm like, come on, everyone else, give me something more.
Did Doug and Jasmine still go on that date?
The answer to that will be revealed later. Jack, who's your winner pick?
My winner pick from episode 1 has been Santi. I have a fear in my soul that we're dealing with a Wendell and Dom situation where Doug and Santi are just gonna power on through to the end. Maybe Delaram or Sadie as the Laurel in this situation, or the Yanny, if you remember that joke. And I don't want it to happen. I wanna believe that Angie or Morgan can do it, but hopes haven't been high. The only woman thought could be a winner was Jasmine. So
You're really sleeping on Amanda, the winner.
Amanda gets content.
Oh, like
She just
I will
gets
say
it.
This. She's still here. She's still playing.
Yeah,
Where's Tim's confessional this episode?
we don't need it.
For way too long.
Who do we think the special guest is going to be next week?
Teresa.
I was just assuming you were going to put Feluke back in the game.
She's back. She's in the game. She gets Liam's advantage. She's back in the game.
It's gotta be someone. Maryland, like.
Yeah, it's a Maryland Survivor related person.
What if it's me?
It's Erin. She came. She's there.
2 years before I played Survivor Michigan.
Yep.
I don't know. It's gonna be someone random, like Eric King's brother.
Yeah, it's Matt King. We're bringing back Matt King.
To replace whoever goes home next week.
I mean, I'll give you no, I won't give you any hints. You'll find out next week.
No, give hints for the people who watch the live shows. Come on.
All right, here's a hint for the live show. I'm not going to be there at the challenge next episode.
Oh.
Well, that's good.
That'll be fun.
Bye.
Oh,
Okay, this may be the. I'm gonna say this next week too. This might be the most douchey business thing I did. I left school for a full week to go on a European cruise.
Don't tell me there's a guest host the entire episode. There's a guest host the
No,
entire.
no. I came back for the tribal.
Oh, okay.
I fully left a week of school to go on a cruise. Oh,
You know what? People in the chat are saying Austin, and it would make sense because like a bunch of the old Maryland players were like at that challenge for a reason.
well, they were all the
Maybe.
crew, but they were at a lot of the challenges.
I feel like okay.
It's
I don't
just so funny to me. I truly was just like, I'm not going to go to classes. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Sorry, my boyfriend had to come in here, but still whispered to me. Did he text
King
me?
of Whispering.
He did. King of Whispers. Okay. Anyways. Oh, Swale going, was it not wisdom teeth? No. No, I fully just skipped school to go on a cruise. It's not embarrassing. It's just
No, you
really,
are
like,
just mourning
business majors
Liam's
don't do
boot.
work.
Yeah.
You'd think for a tribe full of people who don't do work, they'd be better at playing a game where they have to do work. You'd be wrong. Apparently, the engineers are really good at it. So we'll see what happens next week. This was, of course, a depressing episode, but I think the bright side of this is that at some point your favorites will all be gone, and you'll have to have the worst people go home. So it's the BB22 upside. At a certain point, you're not rooting for anyone. Someone's got to go.
That's why you stopped watching week 1 like I did.
Yeah.
I also stopped watching that.
I said, "Oh, Keisha's gone. All right."
Yep. Yeah. I do like. It's not like any of these people that are like in power aren't rootable. Like you just prefer to root for the underdog, but it's not like any of them are assholes. You know. Like I said, like Doug and Santi are both super charismatic. Like Doug is so cute, like he's so like bubbly, and then Santi.
Oh, she said cute. Doug, you single?
I mean, I could root for that. They still have a little bit to like make up for the fact that when they were kind of a little bit with Eric when he left.
Yeah, that's Sadie and Doug. Yeah, we hate Eric,
didn't like that. So it'll take. How many episodes are left, Andrews?
The amount of episodes that are left are, let me just double check actually, because I keep saying 15, but I don't know if that's correct. Where the fuck
Well,
is this?
either way, it'll take until the finale, and hopefully they won't be there anymore, and then I won't have to root for them.
There are a
Or-
total of 15 episodes. Yep, so 8 more episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll see who makes it. I will say this, like, it gets pretty crazy. Or does it? Imagine I come on and like, this
Do they-
season gets worse.
someone finds the idol in the finale. I can't wait.
Yeah, maybe someone will find the idol. Maybe someone will pull a move against Doug. Maybe.
Maybe.
Or
Maybe.
Comment like accidental old school season because nobody's finding the idols.
there was actually not the idol thing. I was thinking there was actually a potential plan of not doing a swap because we wanted to keep the theme. But my thought process was, I don't want the season to be boring and predictable. So we're gonna flop, or we're gonna flop. We're gonna swap. And they still managed to just say, what about a majority alliance on both sides? You might think with a tribe of 8 splitting majority onto 2 different tribes, it would be just Pascala's gone. He'd be wrong.
You would be.
That's what we wanted to happen. Oh, who said that?
We're gonna flop. Not me. Not me saying. Andrews, just tell those the winner. It's Jasmine.
Yes!
It's Ivy. She did it.
Even better.
She voodooed her way into
She voodooed her way.
Who else needs to be voodooed for Ivy?
Teresa. Well, oh,
No,
wait.
no, no.
I just
Voodooed
want
by
Teresa
Ivy.
back.
Like, who else?
Anyone who voted her out.
So, the entire Chikasa tribe.
Chikasha.
Even
Yes.
Angie?
As much as oh no, Angie's exempt. So is
Morgan?
Morgan's exempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Abby?
Who?
Who?
Oh, yep. We have Edge of Extinction. We did that.
Yes.
It's harder. In it, no, I don't know. They have to stay in the dorms currently infested with COVID. Anyways, this has been a fun thing. Let's wrap up now. Naz, do you have anything that you'd like to plug?
I'm just gonna plug my awesome Twitter. You can follow me at NazOB tweeting. I do.
If you want to see horny on main tweets, follow Naz. Naz, you don't want to also maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something coming up in a couple weeks you want to just talk about? Maybe tell people to start doing?
Vote for
There.
Thanks, everyone.
Erin, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Hello. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at esikri. I think, yeah, so that's what you can do. I'm also gonna echo Naz and say vote. And I'm gonna say vote for Biden. If you're in Michigan, also vote for Gary Peters. Yeah.
Jack, you don't have anything to plug, but if you want.
Vote for Joe Biden, first of all. And second, follow me on Twitter at Jack Connors with a Z at the end because I'm quirky. And also follow me on twitch.tv/Jack Connors where I do live reactions to the Maryland episodes every Monday. You get to see me say a lot of weird things.
He screams
fun
when
time.
Doug's on the screen.
I
Take off my screen.
I do that. So if that interests you, tune in. It's fun. It's a fun time. Trust me.
I would also like to plug this week, Survivor Michigan, only like a month after the finale, are finally doing a post show where I'll be on it. So if you want to hear me actually personally attack players who, unlike Doug, are not likable villains, come watch me. I promise you, if you think Doug is annoying to watch, you have not watched Michigan 3, where you have to listen to probably the most irritating people. And it's not that they're saying, I want to get rid of this person because they know too much. They go, I want to push her down the stairs. I want to burn down her house. This girl sucks. It's like, she's done nothing. I'm not going to spoil too much, but in the second episode, this person who is on the bottom of the tribe, no allies, goes, I think maybe I want to vote for this person. This person finds out and goes, what the fuck is wrong with him? I can't believe he would say it. It's like, chill the fuck. There's a 6-person tribe and you're voting him out unanimously. Who are you mad at? Anyways, get the fuck out of here. How dare you ever say that's true? They are awful. They are nasty. They're nasty women. Bad hombres. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Vote. election in 2 weeks. Make sure you're registered. If you're like me and you have your mail-in vote, don't forget to send it in. I'm going to bring it to the polling place myself. But yeah, vote. See you guys next week, where we hopefully will see Doug go home, or not. Have a good night. Bye.